One of the nice things about self-storage being a commercial asset is that it is valued based on its income generating potential. So the same asset run by two different people can have wildly different valuations. As opposed to, say, when you own a house, if unfortunately your neighbors down the street sell their house for a lot lower during a fire sale for whatever reason, now all of a sudden your house is worth a lot lower, even though nothing has changed. The ownership has not changed, the condition has not changed because of the way that comps work. Because self-storage, I have the ability to raise rents and drop expenses. I'm able to go into a facility, pay a very fair price to the current owner that may be a mom and pop investor, which is where the majority of ownership is nowadays, and then professionalize that facility, put in a tech stack, use automations and AI, you have pricing protocols and algorithms, and then have the ability to add it to the rest of our portfolio for scale, which then drops the expenses of that facility. So then you have a much larger net operating income, and over a very short period of time. For example, that first facility that I bought for $1 million, 3 years later, I sold it for $1.8 million just because of what we did on the operations side and how we implemented technology in order to grow net operating income. So once I realized that there was the ability to kind of leapfrog my net worth, if you will, I wish I would have known this earlier in my life, that I didn't have to start with the small investments, that I could already started by adding 2 or 3 zeros onto the size of my investments, because once they're that large, then you can pay for a large team that's professional, that does everything, specialized. You don't have to do everything yourself. And then that ends up turning into not only a very large return for myself, but also for my investors.